I'm honored to be here with all of you. Thank you, Professor Alfred, and future lawyers, too. To talk about my life growing up with a disability, I speak from the heart and show much humility. After my speech, I'd like to perform a Romeo monologue. It won't take too long. Acting is my passion. Tennis is my game. Being a Special Olympics advocate, that's my claim to fame.
I think it's okay maybe to speak.
Yeah, it's on.
Thank you for your patience during that long, silent, and awkward pause. For the first 4 years of my life, that was me, unable to speak, cut off from the world. Doctors told my family to accept that as reality of my life. My disability, Down syndrome, was going to leave me speechless for the rest of my life. Well, I got one thing to say to those doctors who doubted me. I'm speaking at Harvard, baby! My name is Eddie Barbanell, and I don't accept the limitations other people place on me. Never have, never will. When I first became involved in Special Olympics, baseball was my sport. But I don't mean to brag, but I will. For the sake of the speech, of course. If you saw me out there on that field, you would never, ever forget me. I was a legend. I must have been a great hitter, right? No. Then I must have been a great fielder. No. So, if I couldn't hit or couldn't field, what was it that made me so unforgettable? Stains. Dirt stains are what made me a legend. You see, I played baseball the way I've lived the rest of my life, never giving up, which means I would slide into bases like my life depended on it. And not just first base. I would slide into second and third, and I really loved sliding home. Sometimes I start my slide the moment I left third base. And if I came up short, I get up and slide again. I was a dirt swirling demon on the bases. Ask my mother. My baseball career destroyed her washing machine. I don't know what it was, but I've always had something in me to forget about what was normal, to forget about what was expected of me and my disability. My whole life, I'm deciding head first into new situations and new opportunities, like acting in movies and TV shows, performing live theater, working as an assistant at a senior care facility, and of course, giving brilliant speeches. I love challenging people's expectations of me. Being born with a disability means I inherited unique abilities and challenges. Challenges that I worked hard to endure and overcome with the help of my loving family, friends, and programs such as the Special Olympics. Inheriting these challenges is something I can never control. I'd be lying to you if I didn't admit that being born with a disability can be frustrating at times. But I can't accept the disability that I'm inherited because I have what it takes to overcome the challenges that come with that. I have what it takes to lead a joyous and fulfilled life. I have the love and support of my family and friends. I have the desire to get as much out of life as anyone else. But the thing I cannot stand is inheriting society's limited opportunities and expectations of me. I inherited my disability, and I'm doing everything I can to make the most of it. To the people who told me I would never talk, to the people who made fun of me in the hallways growing up in school, to the people who told my mother it wasn't worth the hassle of bringing someone like me into the world, I say to them, if you want to encourage and enable my greatness, then I welcome your support. If not, then get out of my way. That is why I am so thrilled to be speaking here today. Being able to take my message to the world is awesome and empowering. Sure, this is only one room filled with handsome, brilliant people with great taste. Thank you for being here, by the way, but it's a room filled with future leaders capable of changing the way the world sees and treats people like me. On July 20th, 1968, one of my personal heroes, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, stood in front of a crowd of 100 people. And the very first Special Olympics in a stadium built for 85,000 people. It was an event that was largely ignored by the public and the press. And Eunice must have looked so small out there in the middle of that gigantic stadium. But lucky for us, this mighty woman, this incredible leader, had a message of hope that would not be denied. She lit the torch on that day in 1968, and a message of awareness, acceptance, and inclusion has burned a path across the world, changing minds, attitudes, and laws. In Eunice's own words, you are the stars, and the world is watching you. By your presence, you send a message to every village, every city, every nation. A message of hope, a message of victory. The right to play on any playing field, you have earned it. The right to study in any school, you have earned it. The right to hold a job, you have earned it. The right to be anyone's neighbor, you have earned it. In my own small way, I am here to help make sure that message keeps growing. There's a very simple but powerful way for all of us to be leaders, and that's to change the way people speak about those of us with disabilities. That's why, as special advisor to Special Olympics CEO Janet Fletcher, I'm helping to lead a cause that's very important to me, ending the derogatory use of the word retarded. And that's where you come into play. Here's a rap about ending the R word. I'm pleased to be here with all of you, home of the Harvard Law Review. As leaders, we must all find a way to teach people to stand up and care. And I propose we do that by ending the use of a word that's most unfair. Often you'll hear someone say retarded without blinking an eye, unaware of the hurt they cause when they let that word carelessly fly. We have the same needs as all of you: love, respect, and camaraderie too. We are sensitive, caring, and very aware. Don't use the R word, and please don't stare. As leaders, we can change attitudes, and use of the R word is definitely rude. We have to make society conscious of their words' hurtful effect and get them on board to emphasize and reject. The Fairley brothers took a big chance when they cast me in the ringer and let me do the steam room dance. I went all Hollywood and got myself some clout, which comes in handy when you have a message to shout. We must erase the stigma when people say retarded. We hate that word. It needs to be discarded. They banned the word retarded when they passed Rose's Law. I stood next to Obama and helped him correct that legal flaw. We're on our way, but our journey has just begun. I need your help. Come on, it'll be fun. We're going to end this with a pledge. And I want all of you to say out loud, I want everyone to hear, that our voices be heard. Repeat after me. I pledge.
I pledge
To support.
to support
The elimination of the derogatory use of the R word
of the derogatory use of the R word
from everyday speech
from everyday speech
and promote acceptance,
and promote acceptance,
inclusion,
inclusion,
and respect
and respect
of people with intellectual
of people with intellectual
and developmental disabilities.
and developmental disabilities.
Thank you, and I'm proud to be here with you in Harvard. Let's keep working together and let's forward into a better tomorrow. Oh, by the way, you scratch my CD, you know. Hold on 1 minute. Don't move.
Eddie is going to, should I, will I spill the beans if I?
Well, spill the beans. Don't spill the beans. Maybe we should move.
This is why you're all lucky you came. You get extra special stuff.
This is from William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. The time is shortly around 2 a.m. and the place is Juliet's garden. He chests at scars and never felt the wound. But soft, but light beyond the window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who's already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, hast far more fair than she. Oh, be not her maid, since she is envious, her vessel livers but sick and grieved, and none but fools to wed it. Oh, cast it off. Oh, it is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she was. She says nothing. What a mat. Her eyes distorted. I will answer. Oh no. No. I am too old. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heavens, having some business to entreat her eyes, do twinkle in their spheres till they return. Now what if her eyes there, yea, in her head, the brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing. And thinking were not night. And see how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were to love upon that hand, that I might touch my cheek. Oh, she speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel. For thou art as glorious in its night be on my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven. The white, turning, and wondering eyes of Mars that fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy, patient clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. That was fantastic.
That goes to Tim Schreiber.
And Eddie, have a chair. You'd be willing to take a few questions from
Sure.
folks. Okay, the floor is open if people have questions for Ed.
Oh, right on.
How did you meet Eunice Shriver and the Shriver family?
Through Tim Shriver, who was the chairman and CEO of Special Olympics. We met in Shanghai, China for the 2007 Games. And I came to her house one day at a picnic and with Sergeant Shriver, and she started Kim Shriver in the backyard of her own home. And she is a great leader. And there's one thing that her vision was to help people with intellectual disabilities, to include people, not exclude people with disabilities. And I know I'm going to break down in tears right now because I miss her. But I feel that through Eunice, she touched my heart. And I know for a fact, the words that come from my mouth comes from deep inside my heart and soul. And I feel that when she had a sister, Rosemary, who had a disability, wanted to participate in sports. And she was being denied to participate in sports. But there's one thing I loved about Eunice. She included her sister to participate in sports. But the main objective here about Eunice and Rosemary, instead of putting people on the bench, on the court, what Rosemary was doing by watching, I think that she should play more than to watch. Watching is not playing. What Eunice did was so outstanding. What she did through her accomplishments, through her family, through Tim Shriver, through everyone, and I feel that without her, there would be no Special Olympics. And if it weren't for Special Olympics, that would not have changed my life. But through Special Olympics and Eunice, that changed my life.
And Eddie, I think it actually went both ways. I think you had a profound impact on Mrs. Schreiber and her family. So really both ways. And more questions, please. Daisy?
Does it feel to be a movie star?
Well, actually, that's a good question. And the answer is, I feel great. Because when people stop me, well, actually before the movie came out, like for an example, I don't mean to brag or be a ham up here. I feel that before this movie, The Ringer, came out, people doubted me. And my mother was listening to every word people said on street corners, in grocery stores, when people are staring and pointing with fear in their eyes, saying that kid's so retarded, he will never pursue his dream. And my mother was crying. But guess what? Because of this movie, The Ringer, I feel like I felt special inside, because after that movie, they shook my hand. They stopped me. They recognized me, took pictures with me, signed autographs, had me sign their shoe. Well, I know one thing. My life, I proved them wrong.
Thank you. From me.
Eddie, it's been a great honor to spend time with you the past 2 days, and I hope tonight is one of the most wonderful moments of my life, and that you are my inspiration. Thank you. But I have a question.
Go right ahead.
So, if you have one most important question for folks around the public, and with the return, unique return, like what I have, what would you say?
To hug them, love them, and not give up on them. And to accept people for who they are, not what they are. And that's a part of my new campaign that I just started, and I hope that everyone will join me, called the Dignity Revolution, called to action.
Further questions? Yes.
What got you involved in acting?
Well, there was an article in the National Down Syndrome Society column for a Rising Star Productions, and a contest out in L.A. And my mother read the article, and she said, Eddie, this is a perfect fit for you. So one of the judges out there offered me to audition. And I auditioned. I did Romeo in front of all seasoned actors with disabilities and people who don't have disabilities. And I went in there, I performed my Romeo, and I won. Yeah, and I won a Ricotta Montalban scholarship that got me in The Ringer, and the rest was history afterwards. what can I do? What I would do to help you and other people who are less fortunate, number one, is to open up programs that will help more people who are physically or learning, people who are blind or autism or Down syndrome, whatever disability you have. It doesn't matter what disability you have. But I feel that what I should do, I should go to the UN and tell Congress, Democrats and Republicans alike, both parties, to make sure that they help more people with disabilities, physical disabilities, to make sure that people are access to have better health care, to open up transportation like TOPS or a handy van, or people to help those who are in wheelchairs, to be access to video games to help train people with disabilities. And I feel that, can we do better? Yes, we can do better. But I know that our government is not good where I am in Florida. But my feeling is that I will make sure that the government is going to help you. Have faith, believe in yourself, and don't give up. I will help you.
Judy, I think your work with the Special Olympics clearly has reached far beyond the United States.
Right.
And we were together in China and
Yep.
several other places.
And Greece and Morocco. Fun, fun, fun.
Yes, please.
The important thing my mother did for me, she never gave up on me, and she will never will. Oh, your mother? Oh, well, I feel that mothers who have children with disabilities, to accept them, to include them, make them a part of society, to listen to your children, not yell at them, scream at them, and deny them. And that is what my mother did for me, and that's why I love her.
Hey, I think that's good advice for all parents.
Right.
Mothers, fathers, for all kinds of children.
Right.
Supporting and nurturing.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who they are. If you're a father, mother, grandmother, son, daughter, granddaughter with disabilities, I feel that children should be loved and included. And that's what helped me at the board meeting today for Special Olympics. About a part of Special Olympics is a part of inclusion and acceptance for all people with and without intellectual disabilities, as Tim puts it, different abilities. I do not want, You know what I think what we should do? I know what we should do. Instead of using the word disabilities, it's because the word disabilities is like dissing people. Saying disabilities, we should change the language in our vocabulary in everyday speech. I will tell President of the United States, President, I know you passed the Roses Law, but there's more work to be done, President. Help those with intellectual disabilities. Help those who are in wheelchairs. Help those to help employers hire more people with disabilities in the workforce and eliminate the R word in the workforce because people are still using it in all walks of life. I don't like what they're doing. And I feel that when I was first hired on my job, I worked in a assisted living. The first thing that the human resource person said to my mother, why should I hire this person with a disability? And you know what? I know what. I feel that in the workplace, I will tell them when I get back to work, support the Special Olympics and support in the vision of helping those with disabilities. And even though you are the 5-star, I will go above you. Perfect question. The Roses Law. I'll say the best. This girl named Rosa, she's an 8-year-old girl with Down syndrome from Maryland. And her parents, when they were walking her in school, they heard someone call her mental retarded, retarded, mentally retardation. They refer that to describe people with disabilities in the olden times. And the parents said, enough is enough. My daughter should not deserve to be called that. So what happened? The parents told the senators to step up, to testify on the House and Senate floor, brought up to a bill, and President Barack Obama, my commander-in-chief, signed that bill and invited people, and the president invited people with disabilities to the White House to witness this bill, and I was one of them. And I felt that this was so enlightened, what President Obama did. But I feel that even though he passed the Roses Law, he needs to do more.
Including getting the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities ratified.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, God.
part of the message, right? That everybody has different talents. I could not begin to recite what you recited from Romeo and Juliet, for example. So I think valuing each person's accomplishments and talents is better for the whole society. Everyone benefits from those.
Right. I can stay up till 1 a.m., so I need more questions.
I actually have a question. I thought your version of the balcony scene was one of the most beautiful I've ever seen. It was fantastic. So thank
Thanks.
you. But I want to know, are there other pieces of Shakespeare that you're working on? Because I'm an actor, so I'm thinking maybe we can get something, you know.
She's named Juliet.
And I'm
of
named
course.
Juliet. I was thinking, you know, I won't say Macbeth out loud, but, oh, I just did. But Troilus and Cressida, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, so.
Well, I know Hamlet. I know Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream. I know Lancelot Gobble from The Merchant of Venice. I know Shylock, the Jew. I know Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream, comedy. I know all variety of stuff, but nothing gets in my way. You know why? One reason. One, Eunice. Two, Special Olympics. Three, Tim Shriver. Three, my mommy. And four, my Aunt Barbara, who gives me advice, who gives me suggestions of what I should and should not do. And I feel that I want to ask my aunt and my mother to please take a bow for changing my life. And my uncle, who thought that he was related to me, he really is. Any more questions? I could stay up till 2 a.m.
Eddie, I think what we might do is in a few minutes, maybe we'll end the formal session, but we have a lot of food, and maybe Eddie will stay a little longer and talk with us all informally. But Eddie, we have a present for you.
Oh, God.
Thank you for coming for a terrific talk. And so a hat and a Harvard bag. And just as a memento to thank you, and so you can remember when you're back in Florida in the warm weather.
Thanks. And I'm glad to be here with all of you at Harvard University. I know that once you graduate and receive your diploma, once you leave the nest, you are out in the job field. Well, I know one thing. I know that the job growth is a little slow, but I know one thing. You will get a job. And I know I know, Bill, I want to thank you for inviting me up here, for encouraging me, and for being with me on the board of Special Olympics. And I feel that that you gave my family a great smile, a smile up on our faces. And I hope to see you in New Jersey for the National Games. And I feel that why don't we all take a silence of, why don't we just take a moment of silence to remember Paul Berman, my friend that I miss.
Paul Berman was an incredibly wonderful ophthalmologist who donated his time and effort over decades to run the Healthy Athletes program that ensured hundreds of thousands of young people around the world got medications and prescriptions, things they never heard. He sadly died of a heart attack this weekend.
Yeah. And he changed my eyesight through Special Olympics. And I know that I should not be standing up here on this mic, hogging the microphone from you. But I feel this way. I feel that the importance of Special Olympics is healthy athletes. But Bill, we do not discuss about healthy athletes. And I feel that in this movement for Special Olympics on the board, At the board meeting, we mentioned healthy athletes. And we need more of that for the 2015 games in LA. You know what, my friend over here in the blue jacket, in the wheelchair? I feel that whoever has healthy athletes, this athlete, Justin Plunkett, he had gum cancer. And he didn't know where it came from. He was crying in tears. He was choked up because he was close, about this inch, from dying. And because of Special Olympics, that changed his life. And the Special Olympics changed my life through Bill Alford at Harvard University. And I feel that every one of you who are going to leave the nest and get a job out there in the mainstream of life, I feel, go get them.